Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 3 of The 100. So if you had a chance to watch the open season video I made about Season 3, you know that I was having fun with it, and I was cautiously optimistic. Now that the season is over and the story was told, we can finally talk about where The 100 is as a show. First of all, just seeing where this show started compared to where it is now is pretty incredible. Season 1 was fun, but not much of anything else. Season 2 was very solid and told a story that had more substance to it, but you still had the traces of its teen drama origins, because after all, this show started as a story about a bunch of teenagers. But still, Season 2 improved on Season 1 in every possible way. Season 3, in my opinion, is the best season of The 100 so far, and it does a beautiful job of expanding the world on the ground. Season 3 goes pretty deep into politics and the relationships between the different factions on the ground, and of course you still have the theme that always was a big part of the show of characters having to deal with the horrible things they had to do. My favorite thing about Season 3 was that most of the time I felt that I was watching the events that are going to shape the future of this world. Like when you study history and you learn about wars or things that happened that changed the course of history. Things that, if they didn't happen, maybe society would have been different today. These are the type of things that the characters in this season are doing. Some of them just care about survival, while others care about the future. This season also shows us more about the history of this world and why certain things are as they are in this world, and also the history of some of the characters. While the show itself is very fantastical and a lot of things happen just because they need to happen for the story to move along, the political side of the story just made a lot of sense to me. Some people are trying to do what they believe is reasonable, while others are driven by hate and fear. And both sides are forced to do difficult things because of the belief that their way is the right way. The only thing that bothered me about this season, and I talked a little bit about this in the open season video, is Clarke's character. It feels like the show has outgrown her character. Season 3 of The 100, like other seasons of this show, can be a bit over the top. It's not supposed to be some super heavy drama. But this season is a more mature season. And Clarke's character, with the overacting and the drama, and it's my fault, and I have to do this, it's just holding everything back. There's a more meaningful story going on here, and we don't really need this cheap drama. There is a love story that Clarke is involved in that I thought was a well-told story, and I don't expect the show to get rid of the character. She is a very important part of the story, but I did expect her character to kind of catch up to where the rest of the show is. There were a few other things that I didn't really like about this season, or things that I wasn't a huge fan of, but going through them would truly be nitpicking, and I do go through some of them in the open season video. I am not above nitpicking. Speaking about that open season video, in it I said that I didn't really like Jaha's side story, the whole City of Light story. I didn't like it in Season 2, and I didn't like it for the first half of Season 3. But let me just tell you that it pays off. If you, like me, were not a big fan of the Jaha side story and all the City of Light stuff in Season 2, and maybe even in the beginning of Season 3, just know that it's worth it, and they turned it around into a very cool, very interesting concept. Bottom line, should you watch it? For your people. By now, you probably know whether you like this show or not. If you liked anything about Season 2, you're gonna love Season 3. The story is more mature and more complex, and you see more of characters that deserved more depth. For me, Kane was my absolute favorite this season. The performances from the more adult cast were great, and I felt they fit very well with the setting. For the younger cast, mostly it still is what it is. It's not bad, but you actually do get a few of them that shine, especially Murphy's character. What about you? Have you watched Season 3 of The 100, and what do you think about it? Which character did you connect with the most? If you're gonna be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. And remember, you can go to bingewatchers.space/vote and vote on what get. And if you're funding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time.